The Masterclass series is graciously funded by the National Endowment for the Arts. Art Works. In an age where college funding is limited, education resources are questionable, and arts programs are being cut, the Coalition for African Americans in the Performing Arts, better known as CAAPA, has stepped up to the plate. Inspired by CAAPA as part of its commitment in supporting classical music education and performance artists throughout the United States and abroad, we offer the Masterclass series. CAAPA marries serious music students with acclaimed music masters of color, targeting historically black colleges and universities, or HBCUs, high school performing arts schools, and music conservatories, including the universities of Alabama State, Clark Atlanta, Fisk, Hampton, Howard, Lane College, Morgan State, North Carolina Central, Spelman College, Virginia State, and Xavier University of Louisiana. Since its launching in 2014, the Masterclass series helps students work on technique, improve stage presence, fine-tune performances, and build self-confidence. While emphasis is placed on classical music students to participate in the Masterclass series, audiences and faculty members are also encouraged to attend the free-to-the-public sessions. An exciting and fresh way to help CAAPA bring color to the classics. The Coalition for African Americans in the Performing Arts, in partnership with Norfolk State University, presents the Masterclass series, the premier Black classical music masterclass series. Latonia Moore has a multifaceted career which includes opera, concert, and recital. In opera, she has received much global acclaim for her interpretation of the title role in Aida, of which the New York Times said, "Her voice was radiant, plush, and sizable at its best, with gleaming top notes that broke through the chorus and orchestra during the crowded scenes." Her 2021-22 season includes the role of Billy in the Metropolitan Opera season opener of Terence Blanchard's Fire Shut Up in My Bones, which she will also perform at Lyric Opera of Chicago, the title role of Aida at LA Opera, a return performance as Serena in the Metropolitan Opera's production of Porgy and Bess, and Madama Butterfly at Dallas Opera. Orchestral highlights include the role of Lady Macbeth in a recording of Macbeth with Edward Gardner for Chandos Records, Mahler's Symphony No. 2 with the Vienna Philharmonic and Gilbert Kaplan for Deutsche Grammophon, and Fidelia in Edgar with the Opera Orchestra of New York at Carnegie Hall. Honors and awards include the Maria Callas Award from Dallas Opera, a Richard Tucker Foundation grant, first prize in the Marseille competition, and first prize in the International Competition de l'Opera in Dresden. Ms. Moore is a native of Houston, Texas. Facilitating today's masterclass is soprano Latonia Moore. Hello, everyone, and welcome to, I'd like to say hello to everyone and welcome to CAAPA's virtual masterclass series. My name is Angela Renée Simpson. I am the program director for the series and your host. I would like to thank the Norfolk State University and its music department for agreeing to partner with us today in bringing color to the classics. To the NSU music students and faculty who are observing via Zoom, we would like we will have a short question and answer session after Ms. Moore finishes working with Ms. Daniels. Please feel free to use the chat button for any questions you may have. And for those who are watching on Facebook Live, please post your questions in the comments. Now, without further ado, I bring to you our music master soprano Latonia Moore, followed by NSU sophomore baritone, Mr. Darien Britt. Hello, Ms. Moore, and welcome.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Great. And hello. Oh, wonderful. Hello, Mr. Britt. How are you?
Doing good, doing good.
Good. I will leave you to it.
All right, very nice. Now, tell me your first name. Is it okay if I call you by your first name?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Which is?
Oh, sorry. Darien, Britt. I meant Darien.
Darien. Yes, Darien. Okay, well, wonderful to meet you. Okay. Now, Were You There is one of these amazing pieces, that's very sensitive. And I thought you captured the sensitivity of the piece very, very well, especially in the beginning. You know what I mean? You took your time and you were taking it easy vocally. And then when you went to the second verse, you could hear that there was more power there, which is fantastic. And I'm glad that I got to hear that in the second verse, because now what I want you to do is apply that energy to the first verse. Even if you're singing calmly, softly, and easily on your throat, just make sure that you're always giving it a spark of some sort, especially when you're singing softer. So it needs to be a continuous sound, like this stream of sound from the beginning. Were you there when they crucified my Lord? That's the other thing. What I want you to do a little more of, if you can, is sort of do it a little more like you would speak, which means kind of picking up the tempo just a little bit, but also taking the breaths in the right places when you need them, right? So if you want to take a breath and say, were you there when they crucified my Lord? You can break it up just like that, as long as you're giving some animation and some energy to those words. So I want you to start from the beginning again, and I want you to sing these words to me as if I had never heard the song before, right? Like you're really trying to drive home what the words are. Like if I've never heard the song before and I'm hard of hearing, I can't hear that well, I want you to give that kind of energy to every part of your sound, because I don't want to tell you to sing louder or softer. That's not the point. Because if you want to take a delicate approach to it, I'm down with that. But what you do need to make sure you have throughout is absolute energy and intent. So say all of those words to me, sing this song to me, and pick up the tempo just a little bit to save yourself, because you're taking really big breaths to prepare, but then running out, because I think the slowness of the tempo for you lose your momentum somehow. And so to gain that momentum back, let's go a little faster and give me those words. Were you there when they crucified my Lord? So being over the top animated. Yeah. Okay, let's start one more time.
Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Sometimes it causes me to tremble.
Good.
Tremble.
Energy.
Tremble.
Nice.
Were you there when they crucified my Lord?
I just want to stop you for 1 second, because I mean, what a dramatic improvement. Just giving me that energy and singing it to me as if I didn't know the song, because it kept me so interested, and it kept you on your voice. You were riding it like a nice wave. And I'm sure you noticed you could hold out phrases a lot better with a quicker tempo. So going into this next one, since now you've taught me the song, I want you to give it some gusto. Don't oversing, but take breaths in smart places too. Were you there? Breath. When they crucified, breath, my Lord. Because I really want you to even more crucified. I mean, it's a sad song, right? It's a scary song. Sometimes it causes me to tremble. Like, I want you to be that thunderous energy when you come into the second verse, which you really had already nailed. I'm just going based on the way you set up the song for me when you sang through, because it was gentle and then more robust. So now you have gentle energy that's bubbling where you're teaching me the song. And now the declaration singing. Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Like you mean it. All right, now go on into this next verse. Beautiful.
Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Sometimes it causes me to tremble.
And remember, energy.
Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they crucified my Lord?
Okay, beautiful. All right, what I want you to do is just the very last phrase again, and really take your time. Were you there? Take a breath. When they crucified, and take that breath. My Lord, use your L, Lord, and keep vibrating, giving me all the energy till the end as long as you can. Okay, so one more time, just that last phrase. Beautiful job. Oh my gosh. Night and day from the first time through to now. This is wonderful. Okay, so one more time at were you there?
Were you there
Breath.
when they crucified
Use that L.
my
Beautiful. Oh my goodness. Wonderful. You know, with singing songs like this that seem so simple, they're the ones that require even more attention because there's no like bells and whistles to the song. You know what I mean? It's not like Ride on King Jesus. It's not like that. You know, it's a gentle song that has a very powerful message, you know, and a powerful question, you know, an uncomfortable question that you're asking, you know, that's very deep, you know, and I believe that with your natural sensibility, which you showed me even through the first time through, is that you love, maybe you have a love for music that is really sensitive and, you know, and it's never driven and it's never harsh. So this is a good piece for you. What are other things in your repertoire? I'm curious.
Too low side. That's trying to think of right now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's nice. You know, it's good to get into that sort of music. But if I could make a recommendation just for straight up classical music, French songs. I think because of, I don't know, because of your nature, you know, you have this sort of smooth, suave way of delivering your music. And so I think that singing French songs would be really, really good for you for two reasons. One, your nature is suave and smooth. And two, because it forces you to really ride your air. And it forces you into amazing breath control because a lot of the French songs, they have very, very long phrases. So that's one thing that I'd recommend you work on going forward. It's really stretching yourself and pushing yourself to the limit because as you can see, like to this last time through, you held the last note longer than I mean, I couldn't believe you kept going actually. Once I stopped even, you know, doing this, you were still singing the note. So I was like, this is great. So you got the air supply, it's there. All you have to do when you're releasing the air is keep energizing it. Because it's sort of like if you blow air into a balloon, you take a big breath and you try to blow up a balloon, but you don't put any pressure behind it, you just go, then chances are the air might not even stay in the balloon. But if you go into the balloon and give it that long energy, like guide your air, lead it somewhere every time you use it. Because that way you won't run into issues, you know what I mean? When you want to do nice, delicate phrasing, you can do it without needing air being the reason why. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so this is a good thing to look at and work on. But I mean, beautiful job. Very, very nice. Very impressed. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
All right, thank you so much.
Wow,
Britt.
what a nice singer, you know what I mean? And it's, there wasn't much to say, especially after when somebody so quickly picks something up from that first thing that you tell them, and so quickly you see an improvement. I mean, there's nothing makes my heart smile more than that. So I'm very proud of him. This is really wonderful.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, let's keep moving on. Next, we'll have NSU graduate student, mezzo-soprano Savannah Daniels.
Hello.
Would that I were a Jew, or shattered jewel, that all my shining brilliance might fall at thy feet, O dark one. Would that I were a garment, a shimmering silk and a garment, that on my foot my robe above thy body, absorb thy body, hold and hide thy body. Dark one. Would that I were a flame, but one sharply beat flame, to annihilate thy body. Oh, dark
All right, brava. Very nice. I've never heard this song before. This is the first time, so thank you. So nice to have it sung by a nice, rich voice too. Wow. So tell me, what is this song about?
She dedicated this song to her daughter. So I don't know what happened in there, but the song's just about being really close to someone you really love. Like if I could be a jewel, I'd be on you. If I could be your clothes, I'd be on you. If I could just be a flame, I'd set you on fire. Like I just want to be that close to you.
Ah, wonderful. Now, the way you described it, I want you to sing it like that. Because the thing is, you have this beautiful instrument, this beautiful voice, and you're singing, and it sounds wonderful. But I believe you meant the lyrics a lot more when you were just telling them to me now than when you sang them. Don't think so much about your voice. And I know that's a dangerous thing to say because you should be thinking about it, but I don't think you need to think so much about the voice as much as you should be communicating those words to me. Because if you communicate those words to me, the voice is going to fall in line. You know, so remember, I've never heard this song before. Now, Were You There, which we had earlier, of course, I've obviously heard that song before, but this one is actually completely brand new to me. So it's going to take some convincing for me to really fall in love with this song. So this is what I need you to do. We're going to come into the song this time, and I want you to trust the size of your voice, which is a nice, thick, full instrument. You know, trust the size of your voice and know that you don't at all times need to use all of it in every part of a phrase, which I know you can tell, you know what I mean? Because when you start out in the first note, it's very soft and easy. But remember to keep it energized. You know, soft singing needs more energy than loud singing. Loud singing, just because of the nature of it being loud, will carry more energy than something that's very soft. Because when you say something softly, you have to over exaggerate, which means giving it more energy, more attention, more life. Right? So I want you to start again. And again, like really pour out those words to me, like convince me of what's going on here. Okay, but beautiful. Wow, what a nice voice you have. Absolutely. All right, let's rock.
Would that I were a jewel, a shattered jewel, that all my shining brilliance might fall at thy feet, thou dark one. Would that I were a garment, a shimmering silken garment.
Okay, all right, one second. This beautiful, oh my gosh, you know, you're giving me more anima, especially from the very start of each line, which, oh, bravo, brilliant. That I really love that. What I want you to do a little more of, like when you say garment, you know, the focus of the word is gar. So what I'm trying to get you, what I'd like you to do is give the lines a little more direction. Oh, if I were a garment, a shimmering garment. You know what I mean? Yes. Garment, love. You know what I mean? Give things a little bit of a swell and direction in the line. You know, get more of this going on if people ever make you do the crescendo, decrescendo. But it's more just the building of line. You know what I mean? Find the peaks of those phrases and the things you really want to emphasize by giving lots of momentum going into the word. Oh, if I would have gone, I mean, really give it, you know, some shape. All right.
Okay.
And just from the second phrase, you can start there.
Sorry.
Would that I were a garment, a shimmering silken garment, that on my folds might wrap about my body, absorb my body, hold and hide thy body, thou dark one.
Yes, very nice, much better. Okay, wonderful. Now let's stack something else on top of it. When you have a high note in this piece, or the high note that a couple of high notes that you just had in this little section, those are, only one of them was actually the peak of the phrase, and the other ones are not. Like the peak of one of your phrases is the word body, yes?
Yes.
Remember, you're leading everything up to body. So all of your energy has to go up to body. But what happened when you got to body is there was a little more, you didn't have quite as much juice left because there was nothing building. You need to run, you know, and build into it, you know, get some momentum going. So one more time from the same place where you started in the second phrase, just remember, high notes, take them easy. Your voice is big and beautiful, and we're definitely going to hear that at the end. You know, don't give me everything you got as far as volume from the very beginning, because then as an audience member, you start to lose interest, you know. But if you give a slow build, you know what I mean, and give peaks and valleys, you know, a little bit, you know what I mean, it keeps me interested, you know, keep it titillating and I stay with you, you know what I mean? Okay, so one more time, but wonderful delivery of really meaning those lyrics this time around too. That's wonderful. Now, less emphasis on the high notes and more emphasis on getting to the peaks of your phrases. And you feel where the peaks are because you know the lyrics and you have good diction, you know what I mean? So really lean into it. Trust yourself. Don't gun high notes at all. Let's go. Take a verse.
That I were a garment, a shimmering silk and a garment, that on my foot I'd rub above thy body, absorb thy body. Oh, that hide thy body.
Now that this, sorry to stop. This is an example. Oh, body. So that means that you're softer at the top, and as you go lower, that's where the peak of your phrase is. So, right? That's what you want. You don't want, you know, you don't want that. You know what I mean? And I know you're capable of it because I hear that voice and I know you can do it. So just one more time from exactly that phrase right there.
Yes, ma'am.
Whatever the words are, I'm not sure about that.
Sorry.
Would that I were a garment, a shimmering silk and a garment, that on my foot I'd rub above thy body, absorb thy body. Oh, that hide thy body, the dark one. Would that I were a flame, but
Good.
sharp leaping flame,
Yes.
annihilates thy body.
Okay, you know we got to do that phrase one more time. Right? Okay, one more time from that new section, just at the beginning of the new section there.
Yes, ma'am.
And nice low notes, by the way. Okay, go ahead, Mother Earth. Let's go.
Would that I were a flame.
Wait, one more time. Oh, because what came out is, oh, that I were a flame. No, you, oh, take a breath almost if you want, but you don't have to. Oh, if I were a flame, flame is your, so don't let anything stick out before that, because the first time around you did a little better, so I want you to do that again. Oh, if I were a flame, not a flame, and I love the way you say flame. So one more time, a good direction.
Yes, ma'am.
Would that I were a flame, but one sharp leaping flame to annihilate thy body. The dark
Oh, beautiful. Oh, so nice. Nice passaggio. Let's back up a little bit just to the very tail end of the song, you know, just to give me, I want a good build into these high notes so that I know that you're actually going to them. I don't want them to stick out and come out of nowhere, which is nice sometimes, you know, for shock value. where a high note just goes bam and it's in your face, right? But in this case, I want you to build with your energy all of the stuff leading up to those high notes. Okay. So where's a good place to start? Can we start just at very tail end last section?
To annihilate that body. Yes.
Oh yeah.
To annihilate thy body.
Oh wait, one more time. Be ready. Now when you take that, when you do that anchor note at the bottom, really give it some energy. You don't have to, you don't need to flip it all the way in chest or anything. I like the voix mix that you have going on that note. Energize it, because you're going to need that energy going into the phrase. Remember, the whole point is for you to build up so that I know that the climax of the piece is coming, that the end, the finale is coming. So one more time from the same place though, but wonderful start. Okay.
To annihilate thy body.
Very nice. Very nice. Oh my goodness, very nice. Yeah, what a beautiful song. This is by Margaret Bonds?
Florence Price.
By Florence Price. Oh, yes. Fantastic. Yes. Do you sing more of her music?
Have I sang by her? Actually, no, I haven't. This is the only song that I can think of that I've sung by Florence Price.
And what is your other repertoire? No, I'm very curious, especially with a voice like yours.
Oh, thanks. For this semester, I've sung Qui Seres a Dexterum by Vivaldi, De Rendentemi by Provenzale. I've sung some Berlioz songs, and what's the other one? Villanelle. I've sung some Strauss.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes. So that's all I could think of. No. Carmen, thank you. I've sung Carmen, the Habanera. I love that.
Oh, very nice. Okay, so I'm very curious, about your range. I mean, are you like tapping into the super high range and stuff like that with repertoire too, or?
I hit some high notes.
You get some. I bet you do. I bet you do. I mean, for real. I can definitely hear it in there. But I was very curious, because I listened to it, and when you get up to just that part of your passaggio, it's very easy for you. You know what I mean? So I encourage, even though you have that rockin' chest voice, I do encourage, singing things a bit on the higher side, where the melody of it is lying a little closer to C, third space in the staff. You know what I mean? So think of push you up a little bit, just to give you some stretch. And the reason why I say that is because sometimes, when you're singing up there in that range a little more often, it forces you into energizing more, because you're not as, you can't be as comfortable as you are, down in the Mother Earth spot. You know what I mean? Because you said you sing like habanera, and it goes up there occasionally, you know what I mean? But the melody of it sits, on the lower side. It doesn't sit so high, you know what I mean? So try to stretch yourself a little bit, you know what I mean? Go off the beaten path and, do some things that are a little bit less contralto and a little more towards that mezzo, lifting it up. But I think you have very good diction, you know what I mean? And it's funny you said Strauss, because I definitely, that's a recommendation for sure, singing Strauss, because that's going to get you on vocal line. Boy, he will not play. You know what I mean? And I think it would sound beautiful, Strauss songs in your voice. What are the ones that you sing?
Strauss, I've sung Leises Lied, and I've sung Morgan before. I love Morgan. I've also sung Allerseelen.
Oh, Allerseelen is a perfect one. That's actually fantastic. And a really wonderful thing to work on direction of your phrases. like with this price piece, you know what I mean? Like, because it's all about where your peaks and valleys are. I mean, it really forces you into that, you know what I mean? So that's a good thing. You have something like Allerzalen, you know what I mean? Some more Strauss, I would recommend. And maybe things, and also songs with movement, you know what I mean, that are a little bit on the faster side. Now, I'm not saying that you have to like bust out a bunch of major melismas and coloratura, but I just mean, you know, something with a faster pace, you know, because you'll find that when you sing things with a faster pace, it also forces momentum, it forces energy, you know what I mean? It makes you work. And when the more you're able to do that, the more you're able to apply it to things that are slower. You know what I mean? You'll learn how to give direction in the slower things, and you'll learn that it, of course, takes a lot more attention and energy to sing something slower than it does something faster. You know what I mean? But in doing that, take those things that you learn in singing things that are a little bit more movement and stuff, and apply it to anything that's super slow. And this is the same thing for the first singer, you know, who sang "Well, Were You There?" It's the same thing. Sometimes singing things with a lot of movement, you bring it back to something slower and you're like, oh, I'm able to add direction here. I know what it takes. Because it's just like the slowed down marathon runner, right? You know, he's going, but you see him in slow motion and it's just as much energy as him going super fast. It's the same concept. So that's what you want to bring, especially to ballads, you know, all the ballads you sing and things like that. But energizing, and for you, the biggest thing, intent. Especially when I watched you talk and you had so much direction and intent and charisma. Applied the same level of charisma to your singing, because your singing obviously has a lot of charisma, but the same level charisma. Try maybe, you know, just like you spoke to me, those words, speak them like that to yourself in the mirror. Like whenever I'm doing a role for the first time, like no matter what language it's in English, I say all of it in the mirror to myself, you know, as if I didn't know it. I'm just talking to myself, you know, and like if I was doing, were you there? Were you there when they crucified my Lord? I just sit there like a crazy cray and look in the mirror and do that with myself. But I mean, come on, we're artists, we're crazy. And this is what we do. And this is what people want you to do. They want you to dig deeper and then open it up and show them, right? Intent. That's what you want all the time. Never let a day go by. No, none of you that might be watching today, don't let a day go by where you get up and just sing. Those days are over. Now you always have a story to tell. It's what we do. Art is there to heal. You know what I mean? There to learn from. You know what I mean? Like people go there to experience something new, something different. Sometimes people go for art and they go and listen to music because they can't feel anything. And it's the only thing that opens up those feelings. You need to be that vessel for them. You need to be that thing that opens them up. Always intent. Yes?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
All right, Savannah, beautiful job. Bravo, really.
Thank you. Thank
yes,
you.
thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Daniels. Thank you so much. Okay, now comes our question and answer session. Those who are watching on Zoom, please put your questions in the chat. If you're watching on Facebook Live, please place them in the comments and I will ask the questions to Ms. Moore here. I'll start with my first question. How are you?
I am good. Like I'm exhausted, but the good kind of exhausted. I'm glad to be busy, and I'm glad that I'm tired because of being busy.
Right.
But all in all, yes, I'm just so proud of the arts right now. Mm-hmm. The fact that, you know, a year and a half, you know, just with spotty, you know, occasionally getting performances, lots of people with everything canceled, you know what I mean? Just not enough art out there. You know, it was such a sad, you know, funereal time. Right, it really was, you know what I mean? And so now getting back on the stage and stuff, I tell you, there's nothing better than it. It was the food that I needed. You know, I didn't realize how badly I needed to get up there and give to people like that and perform and then just fly and get that real release. And also, you know, especially for those, you know, a lot of people, of course, who were performing over the pandemic, like where they were doing streams and there was no audience. You need the audience. Woof.
You need that energy. That energy.
You need the energy. You need that vibe. You know, I remember, because I'm in a run of Porgy and Bess right now at the Met. We're almost finished. And I remember one night, and it was a Saturday night, after Thanksgiving. The audience was obviously still tired, because we definitely were. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I hit it for Thanksgiving. I was full, honey. So the audience, they were just very tepid, they were like, oh, okay, great. And because they were this way and we weren't getting that energy, it kind of suffered for us. We suffered. We were like, dang, we were really coming in hoping we could draw off the audience, and they're asleep. Okay, right. So the next performance was in the middle of the week on a Wednesday night, and I was like, "Here we go, y'all! Let's muster up the strength." The audience was popping from the very first, from Summertime. As soon as Janai Brugger opened up her mouth, and she could, that voice, just stunning. And as soon as before she even started, they were clapping. They were clapping right after, and you could just. And regardless of clapping, you could feel the excitement. And I was like, I don't know where this audience came from, but I am living. I was like, this is amazing. Oh my goodness, it was wonderful. It really does make a difference, So I'm so grateful to get to perform again for people and to get to just, share stage experience with people, be back with the family of singers, you know what I mean? So it's been amazing.
Tell us about the premiere of Fire Shut Up in My Bones. How was that for you?
Well, the whole reason I decided to do Fire Shut Up in My Bones was because it was a personal story. I mean, I played the mother, Billy Blow, Charles Blow's mother, and a lot of her reminded me of my mother, or rather, her circumstances were much like my mom's, but Billy reacted in a way that I wish my mom would have. And so when I was reading through it and they asked me to do it, I was like, I'm not sure. Let me look at the score. When I read through it, I was so touched by the entire story and by her character that that's why I wanted to do it. Because in truth, it was written for a mezzo. You know what I mean? So the part was very low. Initially, that's what he had. Terrence said he had a mezzo in mind. So that wasn't as exciting for me to sing in the low part of my range, but the story was so good that I was like, I'll make it work. Yeah, I'm just going to make it work because it's the most powerful and most emotional opera I have ever been a part of, hands down, number one, the most powerful, the most emotional. So it was incredible, and of course, being a part of history, just finally after all this time, you get the Metropolitan Opera waking up a little bit and realizing that Americans want to see an American story from time to time, and they want to see some American singers and some, something they can relate to. Right. They want to see Black singers.
About the story. A lot of us can relate to that story.
Oh my goodness! But that's the whole thing. It's an opera that takes a story that takes place in a Black community. Right. But it's not about being Black. It's about being different. Right. It's about being strange or peculiar and not fitting in. It's about hiding secrets, and trying to combat them and not let them tear you down. Anybody across the globe can relate to it. Absolutely. This story could have very well taken place in China. And if I read it, I would have still related to it. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So it was so powerful. It was so amazing. And I mean, just to get to open the actual Metropolitan Opera again. I mean, the first time was when I was in the premiere for Porgy, and to get to open again for Fire. I mean, for me, I'm still floored by it. That's wonderful. You know what I mean? I'm just like, it's such a powerful thing, and it was just such an amazing moment. I mean, I'm still kind of on a high from it, even though it closed, like a month and a half ago. I mean, there's a part of me that's just, I don't know, I'm still with it. Even in Porgy, it's still in me.
You get to do it again. And you get to do it again in Chicago.
Yes, I can't wait, actually, because you know how it is when you have a new role and you do it the best you can, but it's new. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's going to take time, going through it again and again and again in performances. Right. To really
like perfect fine wine. It's like fine wine. You gotta let it age, let it sit. Yeah,
exactly. Absolutely. I mean, look, this is how I felt like, with Butterfly. I remember the first time I did Butterfly, and it was nice. And Lord, my voice was fresh. Every time I listened to my very first Butterfly, I definitely am reminded of one of my favorite quotes. It's bad, but it's my favorite. The older I get, the better I was. I'm like, I go
That's
back
a
and
great
listen. I'm
one.
like, because the truth is, if I had that fresh throat now with the knowledge and maturity I have now, I'd be like, woohoo.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, you have to alter things, you know what I mean? Because you get older and your voice changes. And I mean, I
Yes.
think in general, perhaps, maybe I'm a better singer now, but at the same time, that freshness that was there, woof.
Yes.
But I mean, I would never turn back because, the level of Madame Butterfly now for me, the detail work that I've done, over the decades, you know what I mean? Doing Butterfly is immense compared to that beginning. So
Right.
I hope for the same thing with Fire, that when we go in there for Chicago, that, I'm already up here at a certain place and that it'll just keep, evolving and getting better and better. So I am thrilled. And it'll be my debut there, actually.
Oh, wonderful. I didn't know that. Congratulations.
Thank
Okay, we
you.
do have a question. Okay, so Bianca Jackson says, hello, this was amazing. She asks, how do you balance a busy performance career and also time for self?
Ooh. Well, this is one good thing about performances. Once you get out of rehearsals, which is the most strenuous part of any run, you have time in between performances. You have days off. Like here at the Met, the way they do the schedule is usually there's always at least 2 days in between performances, and sometimes 3, sometimes 4. Or in this case, I have a performance tomorrow and we had 5 days in between. So in that you have time. Now, during the rehearsal process, honey, beats me. If you can figure it out, please let me know what to do, because I am always exhausted. It is so strenuous because, and I can take any schedule for an example, like especially in American companies, sometimes you have a schedule where you're from 10 to 1, 2 to 5, 7 to 10 p.m. And you repeat the next day and every single day. So with those rehearsals, it's hard to find time for yourself. You almost have to schedule time for yourself during the rehearsal process. And it's really tough, you know what I mean? Because you're on the same routine, you know what I mean? The grind. So it's almost like when you finally open and do the shows, it's like a dessert. It's like a reward that you actually get a day off, a true day off in between, you know what I mean?
It's not a Broadway schedule. It's not a Broadway schedule.
But in between, I like to do, I do typical girly things. I'll go get a mani-pedi or, get a facial massage or go do some activity. Like I like to go bowling. I like to go to the gun range, like shooting guns. And, sometimes I'll just schedule things like that and it's very important especially once you get into the run of a show to get out and do something all the time, because so many singers get stuck and just sort of staying there and relaxing and staying very, very quiet before the shows for days, you know what I mean? The problem with that is when you were in the rehearsal process and you were doing everything, you were not silent.
Right.
So it's going to take you longer to get back into where you need to be because you've let it relax too hard. I try to sing a little bit every day. Like I'll warm up every day. Even if I don't sing straight through a bunch of stuff, I warm up every day, but self-care, super duper important. And if anybody knows of a way to squeeze that self-care in during rehearsal process, please let me know. I'm here to learn.
Okay. She also has another question. She asks, also, can you speak on your process of learning large amounts of music?
Ooh, now that's a good one. All right. So let's see. I'll take an example. There was a woman who canceled a Verdi opera, I Due Foscari, and I had never done it before. I'd never heard even a little bit of it. No clue. And they said, you got 10 days to learn it. I said, okay. So I usually take everything in sections. For me, the most important things to learn first are scenes that involve other people. That's number one, as far as learning the music,
right? Because
you want to make sure that that's solid, because if it's an aria or whatever, and you're not quite prepared, that's on you and you can figure that out later, but you got to be there for your colleagues, right? So I tend to go to the end of an opera when I'm trying to memorize and then work backwards. For some reason, that seems to stick a little better for me. And I'm very much into memorizing by lyrics. When I was doing Fire Shut Up in My Bones, I was also doing my debut as Leonora in Trovatore and Glimmerglass at the same time. So it was 2 scores that I was learning. And everything was very text driven.
Right.
Because if I would have gone in, especially with fire, and just tried to, make sure I get all the notes right and stuff, I mean, I think I'd be missing the point,
Mhm,
you know what I
mhm.
mean, from a show like that anyway. But also, I'm big on communication when singing, as y'all know, from the class,
Right.
you know what I mean? That is my thing. And so I always start into text, I always start into dialogue, and I always memorize things by words. The words is what guide everything for me.
Mhm.
The libretto over the notes. I mean, I know some people, they learn flip the complete opposite way. But for me,
Right.
Latonia, that's the way I like to do it.
Mhm.
Lyrics, words, big ensembles and stuff like that first, and then ease on into the arias.
Nice, nice.
Usually we do it.
Another question I wanted to ask. So, and I've asked this of all the music masters. So, what piece of advice could you give the students who are in now that you did not have when you were in school?
Mhm.
Something you wish you had done, or something someone should have said, or wish that they had told you while you were in school, that you can relay to the students who are watching now.
Let's see. If I had to pick one thing that I think you absolutely should know that they don't say enough,
Mhm.
learn how to manage your money.
Mm.
Now, I know this is not specifically about the voice.
Oh no, it's just as important.
But I went to the Academy of Vocal Arts, and it was an amazing program. I mean,
Mhm.
we got all of our diction classes, we got movement, stage combat, got to do major roles in the original language with orchestra. Fantastic.
Mhm.
But what I was not ready for when I graduated from that school
Mhm.
was how to deal with my finances.
Yeah.
Because early on in my career, I made large amounts of money and blew right through it. I knew
Mhm.
nothing about savings. You know what I mean? I was never taught. I knew nothing about taxes. And by the
Right.
way, even if you pay taxes in Europe and you're doing a gig, you better believe you're going to get taxed here at home too.
Mhm.
That's another thing that they didn't tell me about. But it's usually, I think it's mostly the financial, thing that I wish I would have known 20 years ago.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my gosh, I wish somebody would have sat us down and said, this is how you manage your money. This is how
Mhm.
you budget. This is how you do
Mhm.
this. And
Mhm.
also about money, fees in the
Yeah.
opera business. I wish I would have known how it worked from the
Yeah.
beginning. You know what I mean? But these are things that maybe they feel like you don't need to know, that you can learn by rote. Somebody else can teach it to you. But unfortunately,
Mm.
at school is where
Yeah.
you should be hearing it. That's where there needs to be more talks about stuff like that,
Right. Right.
Also, things like just because as far as how to sing and all of that, I got a really good education. So I wasn't
Mhm.
lacking in that.
Mhm.
But, money management, and also like picking a manager, and like how you're supposed to deal with a manager, things
Mhm.
that you're supposed to say to an opera company and things that you're supposed to let somebody else say,
Right. Right.
did not get trained. I was never trained
Right.
in that department. So
Mhm.
that's
Mhm.
one thing you want to make sure you have laid down if you truly do want a career. That's for the ones
Mhm.
that want a career in this business. You absolutely want to be a singer. You want to be a
Right.
performer. That's
Right.
the thing. Now, as far as things that are just singing related, that
Mhm.
I wish people would have told me before, you don't have to sing so loud. When you're in a big hall,
Mhm.
the tendency for most singers is to push.
Mhm.
The problem with pushing your voice is this. The way a space works and the way sound works is it travels in a tunnel, like
Mhm.
this. So if you're doing something to obstruct your sound, if you're driving and you're pushing it, the sound won't go anywhere and it drops
Mhm.
because it's too heavy.
Right.
Okay. If you're not giving enough sound, it'll go and
Mhm.
it'll fly up, straight
Mhm.
up. That's why smaller voices, especially in big theaters, you can hear them best up in the
Right.
dressing room. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
But what
Mhm.
you want to do is always just sing on, never sing with all of your voice.
Mhm.
Don't ever have to push and give so much all the time. You can ride your air. And
Mhm.
if you ride your air and you keep that vocal line spinning, everyone will hear you. They will
Right.
hear you to the back of the hall. One
Right.
example I love to use is Renée Fleming, because
Mhm.
she has a nice size instrument, but not a huge one.
Right.
But she always cuts to the back of a hall
Mhm.
because she continuously spins in
Mhm.
one spot without driving it on a high note.
Mhm.
She
Mhm.
stays right there. You're very much
Mhm.
that kind of singer, actually. I was gonna say, because you just sing the thing. You sing it, you send the voice out, and you keep it going. The end. No going, no pumping, ooh,
Right.
no fake vibrato. You don't need all of that stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? That complicates everything. But the one thing is, yes, you don't need to sing so loud in a big theater. That I wish people would have told me that, instead of saying, you're doing Aida, you have to, and you have to give it some thrust. This was a mistake. And if anybody ever tells y'all, sing loud, give it thrust, this is not what you want. Now, thrust and energy, okay, fine. But at no time should you be banging your sound out.
The theaters are built for singing. You know, they're there for singers. The acoustics are there to help you.
Yes, the acoustics are there to help you. And they help the voices that let that sound keep twirling onto the walls and onto the ceiling. And you want it to keep bouncing around. And in order to do that, keep a nice, solid, even sound without driving. You know, no need to ever do it. So
absolutely. Oh, let's see. We have another question here, I think. Let's see. Oh, no, she just said thank you so much for answering me. Miss Jackson asking her question. Okay, so what's I know I mentioned it in the video, but what else do you have coming up this season for yourself?
Yes, okay, this season Porgy closes. At the end of January, I'm doing a piece called Lilacs by George Walker. He won the Pulitzer Prize for Music in 1996 with this piece, Lilacs. And it's very, very odd. You know what I mean? Very like fantasy sort of music, you know what I mean? Very beautiful. And I'm doing it with the Cleveland Orchestra in Miami at the end of January. So I can't wait to go to the sun, honey. Woo! Can't wait. So I'm doing that. And right after, I'm doing Fire Shut Up in My Bones, Chicago lyric for my debut. And after that, I'm going to LA Opera to sing Aida.
Oh, wonderful.
It's a long run. We're there for like 2 months.
Oh, wow. Wonderful.
And then Lilacs again in Cleveland. And then that's it for the major season. And I'm also in the summertime, I'm doing Porgy and Bess with the Hamburg Orchestra with Alan Gilbert. We're doing it in Lucerne.
Oh, nice.
Actually, yeah. So I'm excited to go there. I've never been. And
it's beautiful.
But it should be
and
fantastic.
The coffee is to die.
Really?
The best coffee I ever tasted was in Lucerne. I don't know why that popped into my head, but it did.
I'm on it then. Coffee in Lucerne.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, if we can bring Professor Gardner on to say a few words.
Hello, everybody.
Yes. If you can turn your camera on.
Start my video.
There you are.
Can you see me now?
You can step back a little. There you are. Yes, we can see you clearly.
First of all, I want to say thank you to Ms. Moore. I think our students have benefited very much from this interaction today with you. I feel blessed that I was able to hear and see you at the Metropolitan Opera back in October during your last performance of Fire Shut Up in My Bones. It was just off the charts.
Thank you.
Talking about giving energy, you gave it that day. I had the honor of meeting Will Liverman. Right, Will Liverman, right here in Norfolk, where he's from. They're hiring him at the Virginia Opera to take a role there. So anyway, you are wonderful, and I look forward to seeing you again this Sunday at the Met doing Porgy and Bess. So I'm looking forward.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
Yes. And the other thing I would like to do is to thank Miss Angela Simpson for contacting us and making this possible. We actually know a lot of people in common. Joseph Beer is one of my good, dear friends for many years, and I'm sure lots of other people. Also, I want to thank CAAPA. I know Pamela Simons, and she and I used to have a church job in Pelham Manor, New York. Years ago when I lived in New York, and I got to know her, and I got to meet her mother as well. So I know both of them, and so
She'll be on after this, after we're done here. So if you can stay around,
is
definitely.
she hearing me now?
Yes, she'll be on right after we're done.
Okay, well, thank you, Pam, and your mom as well. And also, I want, since we have a little bit of time, I want to introduce, Harlan Zachary, our
yes, please.
company. He's gone to a rehearsal down, so he's not here. But Dr. Jackson, who is Savannah's teacher, give her. My esteemed colleague.
Thank you. It was wonderful. Thank you for all of the tips. That was me asking a lot of questions. Thank you.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
And besides that, we have a little surprise for you. Somebody that you more earlier in your lifetime. I'm going to bring her. She's on our faculty. Come on.
I remember you when you were at MacArthur High School. MacArthur High School Jazz Ensemble, and remember taking you to the Grammys to be in the All-Star Grammy Jazz.
My God,
I'll tell you all of my history.
Oh, I love you. Oh my gosh.
That's a great surprise.
You're so beautiful. My God. Yes, I will never forget. Yes, I did go to the Grammys in 1996 and then finally won one 25 years later.
Yes, that's all right. That's all right.
You know, I always believed that it would happen and it took forever, but you know, I kept believing and it happened. And if that's not a testament to perseverance, I don't know what is. It's like, oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. And I thank you so, so much for all of the education, for all the fantasticness. And look at you, you're just glowing. You look so fantastic. And I'm so glad to see you.
It's so good to see you. You know, I love you. Pray the best for you. Keep striving and doing your thing and representing everyone. And I just love you. And I'm just so glad that I was able to just talk to you today. You know, I talked to you on Facebook, but I want to.
I know. Oh, yeah.
You know, I love you. Yes, going across the hall to Miss Walker's office.
I know. Totally.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Don't cry. You know I love you.
It's just, it's happy tears. It's okay. Oh my God, I love you so much. It's so wonderful to see you.
We want to just thank you again. This has been a wonderful experience for us. And I hope you'll keep us in mind, Simpson, to.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, Professor Gardner. Absolutely.
And maybe one day I can come and do a masterclass in person.
Yeah.
Would you do that? Would you? Who do we contact to do that?
Yes,
we'll figure it. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure that out. We'd love to have you here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can work that out.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Professor Gardner. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you.
Oh, that was a wonderful surprise for you.
Oh my God, it was.
Oh, that's nice. I like when
Miss
things like
Sanders,
that happen.
and it's so funny because to look at her, you know, like I realize only now as of late that we were actually closer in age than I ever thought. Because when you're in high school, you just say, "Oh, that's the teacher," and you naturally assume they're old.
She was, but she was teaching in your high school when you were in high school.
And I think she was just she must have been in her mid-20s or something like that.
Yeah,
she
looks fantastic.
She is fantastic.
She likes to teach high school now. Oh, that's wonderful. That's a wonderful surprise. Do you have some parting words, Ms. Moore, for the students here?
Parting words, and this is, you know, and it goes along the lines of me, you know, believing for 25 years about that Grammy. Well, the parting words is this: no matter what it is you decide to do, you know, regardless of whether or not it's performing or whatever, streamline your energy and keep believing that you can do it.
Absolutely.
Don't, you know, the biggest problem is when a person hasn't figured out what they want to do. They said, maybe I want to do this, maybe I want to do that, maybe I want to do that. No, make a decision, because as soon as you make that decision, all you have to do is focus all your intent and have unwavering faith and it will come to fruition. It
It
will
will.
come to pass.
It will.
It maybe not at the capacity that you want. Maybe it won't
Right.
be like you expect it to be, but
Right.
it will happen.
Absolutely.
It takes time, it takes diligence,
Mhm.
but streamline, focus that energy,
Mhm.
believe that it will happen. I mean, there were times in my career where, I mean, I didn't have anywhere to live. Even my med debut, I was sleeping on somebody's couch. I didn't have anywhere to live. No, I was homeless, essentially. You know what I mean? And I kept believing that it would turn around. Now, I mean, I saw nothing in sight. You know, I only had one cover contract for the season, but I was just like, I don't know. You know, I know it's going to happen. And I just kept believing it. And I believed it for years and years and years. And suddenly, boom, I ended up with a med debut. How? I still don't know how it happened, but that's what happens. You know what I mean? So sometimes it takes a lot of time, and please, I just beg you to be patient.
Yes.
Don't give up because it didn't
This is
happen
not
in 2
right.
years.
This life is not, first of all, it's not for the faint of heart. That's first and foremost. You got to have a tough skin. And like you said, you have to have the faith in your abilities.
Yes. Have faith in it. You were given a gift, and I'm sorry, you were given the gift for a reason.
Yes.
And you have to believe that too. Because if you believe you were given the gift for a reason, then the reason for its use will come to you.
It will come.
You know, it will. Keep believing no matter what. Have faith, people. Oh, Lord. And when you get on the stage to perform, especially for the singers, you know, today, you know, like to combat nerves or anything like that, you need to remember this. You are the one up there doing it. This is your moment. Give it all you got. Don't ever waste those precious moments when you're up there on stage, especially when so many other people want to be where you are. You know,
see,
go up there.
You ain't never lied about that. So many other people want to be where you are. Yeah, absolutely.
So don't take that for granted.
Yeah.
You know, don't ever say, oh, well, I wish I was doing this and not just this, not just this measly old concert. Just this measly old concert. Home chick is in the back going, I wish I was doing that measly old concert. You know what I mean? Believe, you know. So have faith, be patient, and be grateful for where you are and what you have, and more is guaranteed to come.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That was some great words of wisdom. Great words of wisdom.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
So
always wonderful to see your beautiful face.
Oh,
too.
you too.
Goodness.
I'm so happy for you. And congratulations on that Grammy. Congratulations. Looking for the next one for Fire. Let's put it out. Let's put it there. Let's put it out there.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Okay. So let me get this together. So this concludes our CAAPA's virtual masterclass with the Norfolk State University. I hope everyone enjoyed the performances as well as took away some valuable information from Ms. Moore. CAAPA would like to thank the NSU Chairman of Department of Visual and Performing Arts, Chair Dr. Sam Dorsey, Professor Gregory Gardner, the accompanist Dr. Zachary, Mr. Britt, Ms. Daniels, and finally, Ms. Latonia Moore. This is our last masterclass for the year, but by no means our last masterclass until the fall. We at CAAPA are happy to announce that we will be bringing you masterclasses throughout the year of 2022, starting in late January, so keep an eye out. If you are interested in having the CAAPA Virtual Masterclass series partner with your institution, please stay and watch our exit video, which will have our contact information. Thank you everyone for joining us. We at CAAPA wish you a blessed Christmas and a joyous New Year. God bless.